I thought I'd give you a peek inside our own lead automation system and how it works. So before we do that, let's just have a look at why we need to have a lead automation system. So right now, newly engaged couples are discovering venues online. They're scrolling through photos, imagining their special day in beautiful spaces just like yours, but something goes wrong in those crucial moments. They see your venue, but they never inquire. Your ads get clicks, but no tours materialize. When inquiries do arrive, they sit unanswered for hours or longer. Your follow-up process is inconsistent, manual, and frankly, overwhelming. Meanwhile, your competitors seem to be everywhere, whilst you're missing out on bookings. Well, we fix all of that. So just want to recap the comparison against a good funnel and a poor funnel for a wedding venue. If they both start with 100 leads, we will see that a great funnel will have 30 conversations, 25 tours, which will result in 12 bookings. A poor performing funnel will have the same 100 leads that will only lead to 15 conversations, 10 tours, and 3 bookings. So that's a 12% conversion for a great funnel against a 3% conversion for a poor funnel. And the UK average is 1 in 19, so about 6%. If we gave 2 wedding venues the same 100 leads, the venue with a great lead nurturing funnel will make up to 12 new bookings. A poor funnel will convert just 3 leads into bookings. So losing leads is losing sales. But just think about this. A lot of the time we worry about whether it's the venue that is losing the bookings. But actually, if couples never see the venue, then it's not the venue that has lost the sale. So just in summary, a great funnel will have 1 in 8 inquiries will turn into wedding bookings. A poor performing funnel, 1 in 33 inquiries will turn into wedding bookings, and the average is 1 in 19. So stop settling for average results. If fewer than 1 in 19 of your leads are turning into bookings, you're leaving massive growth on the table. This is your moment to transform your business, double your bookings by unlocking the hidden potential in your existing inquiries. Don't let another opportunity slip away. So let's have a look at the elephant in the room. Why do couples go? On average, couples shortlist 10 to 12 venues. They arrange 3 to 4 tours from that shortlist, and nearly 60% book a venue from those 3 to 4 initial tours. So if you're not selected as one of the first 3 to 4 tours, your chances of hearing from couples again is dramatically reduced. That is why speed to lead is so important, that you're getting your conversations happening before any of the other venues or competitors do. So it starts with the marketing activity, whether that's Facebook ads, hitched inquiries, Google ads, etc. And then what happens to those leads? Well, there's leads that you don't see. And those are ones that have gone to the competition, so they haven't even reached out to you. Then there are those that have considered you. They've been to your website, they've been onto your online listings, your directory listings, etc. But you're not giving them enough information. So they're not sure enough in order to make an inquiry. Then there's the balance, which are the leads you do see. And there are the ones that ghost you. And then there are the ones that just aren't qualified. They're the ones that don't have the right budget, don't have the right intent, etc. And the ones you do see are the ones that are left over, which we will call the success. So let's go back to speed to lead. It's so critical that you have the systems in place to respond within minutes, not hours. Responding within the first minute increases conversions by 391%. 68% of couples inquire out of hours. 74% of couples feel frustrated by the venue responses. Just think, they're spending £10,000-15,000 on this wedding. It's got to be immaculate, the service they receive. And a lot of venues have concerns about using automation or using chatbots. We're in the age of the millennial, of the Gen Z. They are used to using these tools, and you should be offering them as well. So let's look at businesses and venues that don't have AI and automation. They're providing an inconsistent management of customer inquiries, limited hours and slow response, crippling their conversions, impersonal, dated customer engagement, poor, inconsistent lead follow-up, if they're doing it at all, inefficient admin resulting in ever-increasing costs, opportunities lost to digitally embraced competitors, and rising costs, especially with staff crushing profits. Conversely, those with AI and automation, well, they're engaging customers 24/7 using accessible AI agents. They have instant, personalized customer interactions, customer-centric, multi-channel engagement, automated lead follow-up and nurturing, automations enhancing efficiency and staff productivity, and they're outsmarting competitors with low digital investments, and they have a scalable business that's less reliant on human resource. So here we are. This is the VenueBot lead conversion system. We have two paths. We have the happy path and we have the unhappy path. The happy path is where everything flows in the intended way on the customer journey. The unhappy path is where the journey stops and it doesn't continue. So if we were comparing it to, say, an e-commerce store would have the marketing, they would attract attention, you would visit the site, you would see the product you want, you put it into the basket. When you fill the basket up, you move to the cart, you make your payments, and then the items are fulfilled. So the whole path works as intended, the happy path. The unhappy path is where there is a break in that journey. They may have found the product, they may have looked at it, may not have found whether it's the right product or not too sure from the description. They may have even put it into a basket, but it doesn't continue the journey. So in our situation, let's have a look at what the happy path is. Let's start with inquiry. That's going to come in from the likes of Hitched, Facebook ads, email marketing, organic marketing, etc. And then as soon as that inquiry comes in, all of the relevant contact information is put into the CRM system that we provide. Within minutes, we then send a personalized email to the couple that have made the inquiry with the brochure digitally attached and offering a self-service tour booking, and that's all happening within less than a minute. And the self-service tour booking option is actually providing them a calendar which has real-time availability of when you can provide a tour to show them around. We then send, a few minutes later after that, a text. And that text confirms that the brochure's been sent and asks them to just confirm that they have received it. If they have received it, hopefully you get a response saying so. If they haven't received it and they say something to that effect, then we will send the email again, ask them to check the junk and spam folders, and we can send them a link on that text in order for them to digitally download it to their phone or computer. We then send another text a couple of minutes later. And this is the one where we try and get engagement. So we send a text basically saying, thank you again for your inquiry. You may have questions, ask me anything. And so if they ask any questions, we then have a conversational AI bot that will then handle any of those questions and provide immediately the responses by text. So that can be any FAQs. It can also at the same time qualify them in or out. They may ask about budget and they don't have a budget that reaches what the needs are. It may be that they aren't actually ready to make a tour yet because they're not far enough down that journey yet. So we can qualify them in and out, but where we do find the opportunity where we've answered the questions, the qualification is all matching up, then we can offer them through text conversationally a tour. And that would be something along the lines of, I can see that you're interested in the venue. How about you come and see us and see it for yourself? How are you doing for this weekend? Or is there another time that's better for you? And then they will reply and we will get that tour booked into the calendar for themselves and also into your calendar so that you can see where the tours are being placed. Straight after that, we then go into the confirmation stage where there is a series of emails and texts to confirm immediately that the tour has been booked. And then depending on how far off it is, there will be 2 or 3 more texts and emails just to remind them that the tour is happening in 3 days' time, in 1 day's time, and then actually on the day of the tour itself. And then we can send after the tour a text to thank them for coming and to ask them if they have any other afterthoughts or questions, and have they made any further decisions on whether the venue would be somewhere they would like to have their wedding. And if that is the case, then we can send them another text which can then ask them to put a deposit down in order to be able to ensure that that date is held for them exclusively. We then have the unhappy part, which is nurturing to rescue the journey. So let's imagine that we have, within that first stages, we received the inquiry, populated the CRM, we have the email with the brochure being sent out, we've sent them text, and then they've gone quiet on us. Well, there could be various reasons for that. They're just not ready at that time. They've got distracted, whatever it might be. So a day later, we send another email just to prompt them again to re-engage, and we can send a text as well. If we don't get anything from there, we have a series of nurturing emails and texts that happen on day 3, day 5, day 7, and 14 days, and we can continue beyond that. So compare this to your own system, where it's probably very unlikely that beyond that first initial contact, you're doing much more to try and engage with them. Well, you can see here how much more efforts has been put in without you having to put that effort in. It's all been done automatically. And that is what will get that better conversion rate. So let's just summarize what we've seen here. We've got the inquiry come in, we've got the email with the brochure being sent within minutes, and then minutes after that, they've been text to confirm, and then also being text to ask if there's any questions at all, and then having the bot engage with them to be able to handle any questions. It could be, do you have accommodation? Can you cater for 80 guests? Do you have dogs allowed at the ceremony? Whatever it might be. It can even be about the local area. Are there B&Bs or hotels in the local area that other guests can stay at? What's the transport links like? All of this information they can be provided with straight away. So within the first 5 minutes of an inquiry landing, couples receive the brochure, a personalized message, and the ability to ask any questions over SMS, all before your competitors even know a lead has arrived. Why does this all matter? Well, let's have a look at improving the conversion, what the results would be. Let's imagine that your average monthly inquiries is 50 leads a month. And then if you had a conversion rate of 4%, that would be 2 bookings. The revenue would be £20,000, assuming that an average wedding is £10,000. Annualized, that's £240,000 of revenue. At 6% conversion, you get 3 bookings. That's £30,000, £360,000 of revenue. With 8% conversion rate, that's 4 bookings, £40,000 of monthly revenue, that's £480,000 annualized. And 10%, where we expect the best funnels to be, then that's 5 bookings for £50,000 and £600,000 of annualized revenue. So comparing a poor funnel to a great performing funnel, you're moving from, in these examples, £240,000 up to £600,000 for the same 50 leads. Now, look at that in context. That isn't spending any more money on marketing. That's the same 50 leads that you're managing, but you're getting so much better conversion rate. And look what that does to the bottom line. If we are able to get the leads up to, let's say, 100 leads per month, and we're looking at the same conversion rates at 4%, that will annualize to £480,000, 6%, £720,000, 8%, £960,000, and 10%, £1.2 million. So just look at the dramatic difference of having the right combination of leads and the right combination of conversion rate, what that will do to your bottom line. That is what we're here to help you achieve. And how do we do that? Well, the first thing is we do an audit. Not 2 venues are the same. We are not just about providing a technology solution. We're providing a service that has a technology backbone. So the first thing we do is look at where the holes in your existing system are. And that's looking at your website, looking at all your touch points, looking at your processes, looking at your brochures, looking at all your communications. Where can we make improvements on those? We will then create your bespoke lead automation system with the AI, with the text capabilities, with the multi-channel capabilities, and we will build that for you. So you don't need to worry too much about being involved. Yes, we do need to have your input. We need to be working alongside you, but we do the heavy lifting and we provide it as a done-for-you service. So we use AI automation in order to achieve a lot of this functionality that would normally have to be done by human resource. which takes time and effort. We are focusing on the result. This is not about just having a technology platform again. It's about what does it achieve and what can we help you do in order to achieve your desired goals. And it isn't just a build and leave. We consistently, monthly, are working with you in order to keep on layering on better and better processes in order to make your systems more productive, require less effort, and provide a better experience for your couples. And all of that we do with no long-term commitments. It's all about having the right relationship and partnership between us. So why not get in touch? I'm more than happy to spend 45 minutes reviewing your own systems that you have at the moment and looking at your website, looking at your touch points, looking at your brochure, and I will come up with some of the best suggestions that you can look at in order to potentially improve systems without even having to have any more support from us. That's fine. But I'll also show you what a great looking system looks like and how we could help if you wanted to have us partner with you. Thank you.